Warning, the Noob and Froob show is rated NC-17 for adult language, adult content, strong sexual references, and psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. Opinions expressed on the Noob and Froob show does not reflect those of Jagex Ltd. RuneScape.com is a trademark of Jagex Ltd. and is not affiliated with the Noob and Froob show. Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I want to form the Megazord right now. Anyway, that was not a sexual reference, I promise. Yeah. Anyway, excuse me, let me swallow this combo. I swear it's a combo. Cheddar cheese cracker. I'll have you know.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Noob and Froob show, the most amazing RuneScape podcast. All the haters is trying to take us down with their podcasts. We're here first. We were here first. Anyway, as usual, I am joined by the wonderful, the lovely, the always cheerful Satya Vista, aka That Bear.
Hi, I love you. So before, I just want to know if everyone noticed, we now have an intro song.
Yes, we do. Now, are you going to plan to make it the same every week, or are you going to mix it up a bit?
I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe that again next week, but maybe some planning in advance on the rotation of things.
That was kind of a spur of the moment thing before the show. I was like, I really want to play guitar for the intro, and so yeah. And all I could think about was the Power Rangers for some reason. Tight white suits.
I mean, let's tell them how to get in contact with us.
Good idea. In case they want to sue us for using the Power Rangers thing.
Yes, before we go down that other rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you'd like to get in contact with us, the most direct way is, of course, to comment on this video. Satya shall be monitoring it.
Awesome.
Another way to, excuse me, I'm a man.
Are you now?
I think so. I have a feminine side, but so what? Anyway, if you want to tweet her, you can tweet her at ThatBearRS.
Mm-hmm.
You can send her a Facebook message at ThatBearRS on Facebook. You can also leave a comment there. I shall be in the clan chat monitoring it, and you can come in there, ask questions if you're a clan member. If you're not a clan member, join the guest chat. You're more than welcome to do that as well, and ask questions too. And finally, if you are listening via AEM Radio, please leave a comment there. We do not want to exclude you.
No, of course not. Thank you very much, Trash. So before we get into the RuneScape news, I just want to say, what the fuck has YouTube done with their layout? It is horrendous. Oh my gosh, it took me a while to navigate through it, but we made it here. Anyway, let's start out with the news. Return to Ashdale, and I do have some pictures because apparently a lot of you like to look at the pictures for some reason. So
XP waste.
Yes, a complete XP waste. Okay, here's your picture to look at. We're excited. Okay, return to Ashdale and choose your path. In today's free-to-play update, those of you completed a Shadow over Ashdale can return to the island to battle the Crossians and their leader. You can also get advice on what to do next from your choose your path system. I despise the path system, but whatever. You start at Gudrick's house. Speak to Gudrick and Taverley to head back to Ashdale. Once you're there, be sure to activate the new lodestone for future access. Yes, there is a new lodestone. Via a new entrance in the northwest corner of the island, you'll be able to access a new combat area populated with Crossians, or however you say it, ready for scrap. Great for low-level combat training. You also find a dead man's chest that allows you to replay the quest's final boss fight. Prevail against the boss, and you'll net yourself more black pearls, which can be used for a level-scaled chunk of bonus XP in the skill of your choice. Note that members can get 2 of these pearls per week. Free-to-players can only get 1. Aww.
Oh. Well, I want to know what Jax's beef with Croatia is, because you said you kill Croatians.
That's how I pronounce it. I don't know. Sorry. Okay, the Ninja team have snuck in a few new rewards for the high scores and owners of the Max and Completionist Cape. So this is your Ninja updates for the week. Firstly, they've introduced the Supreme for those who've reached number 1 on a selectioned seasonal high score table. Of course, that's stupid things like killing cows, blah, blah, blah. Next up, the top 100 players in future seasonal high scores will have access to the high scores reward title. Not just the first player, but all 100. The number 1 player in these special high scores will get a special gold version. That's a little special. Finally, we've added 2 new titles, Maxed and the Completionist, for owners of the Max and Completionist Capes, so that way we can continue to be more cocky as usual. There's new combat content for everyone here, all important guidance for players wondering what to do next, and more ways than ever to show off what you've achieved. As always, let us know your thoughts on the forums so we can ignore them. Okay, I've got another picture. I'll get faster at this eventually. This is what pest control will look like. If you see here the updated version, everything looks a little more like Disneyland compared to the old version. That's very... yeah. Okay, anyway. Next up, Solomon's General Store Weapons of Fire. And here's your picture for that shit. They actually do look pretty cool. I give them that. But, you know, it's still Solomon's crap. Anyway, Gielinor is home to a proud people, and within each of you lies the blazing heart of a hero. Solomon's General Store is proud to present Weapons of Fire. 6 new cosmetic weapon overrides that make every confrontation a conflagration. Spell singers will no doubt warm to the choice on offer. The Burning Truth is a magnificent staff override, while the Spiteful Spark and Heartful Heart are a wand and orb offhand match in Infernus. For Rangers, Wildfire is an exquisite 2-handed crossbow that spits bolts of fire, while the Sunflare throwing axe is a thing of incendiary beauty. Oh, the puns mighty. Yeah. Finally, the Firestorm blade is a fierce 1-handed sword. Blaze a trail to victory with this mighty melee override. Yeah.
They must be listening to us, because there's no way they got puns at that level without hearing me say shit.
That is really, really, really true. So if you want to go ahead and open up the polls.
Of course, of course. Let's see. Alrighty. Let me run away from Hellhounds so I can open up the polls.
Prepared as usual.
Absolutely. Alright. The Dragonstone poll is still down, so we will be just doing the other 2. Alright, skill update poll. We'd like to bring you a non-combat update later this year taken from your suggestions, but which shall it be? If voting is close, the top 2 options from this poll will face off in a final decider. Alright. Make Runes Valuable is the first one, and the one that is winning. Skilling Boss, Construction Update, and Mini Game Spotlight. What did you vote for, Satya?
This poll really pisses me off because we need all of those things. We wanted the Skilling Boss, we want rune crafting to be valuable, we want a reason for people to want to leave RuneSpan and make runes, we want spotlights, we want all this stuff, and it's unfortunate we have to pick one. I kind of went with the Skiller Boss. I know the runes is winning, but the problem is we just don't use that many runes. Unless they're going to increase the amount of runes we use in a spell, I just don't see it's necessary.
I also voted for the Skilling Boss.
Good choice.
All right, and next we have the task set rewards poll.
Mhm.
After the launch of Elf City, we plan to release an Elf City task set. This will include a task set reward, but what benefits should the item give you? The top 3 will be included in the final release, and the options are, let me scroll up. Bountiful fruit trees, cheaper crystal recharge, dark beast buffs, elf land teleports, hunter success improvements, more crystal charges, trap immunity, and turn into crystal. The 3 that are winning right now are elf and land teleports in first place, dark beast buffs in second, and hunter success improvements in third.
Dark Beast is mine as a hardcore slayer. That's all I can think about.
And as a noob who likes to move from place to place quickly because I don't like walking, even though the world is incredibly small, I chose Elfland Teleports. Yeah.
Good show, good show. So I guess the most important thing in the news this week was the Elf City design document, and let's move on to that. If you see here, this is the cover of the downloadable PDF file, Elf City Design Brief, the Tower of Voices. And let's just jump into this. I'm really excited for this quest, for this whole area that's going to be opened up to us in the next couple of months. The time has come to start our journey toward Prifidannus, the long-awaited Elf City. Today, they have released the first of 5 downloadable design documents. And this is pretty much supposed to be the things that they would turn into the lead of design, Wad Mark himself, for him to review. It's kind of like the plan of things that's going to happen, and such and such. So I've got that complete document here, and let's go through it. The Elf City and Tower of Voices. The Elf City is a high-level Varrock-like hub aimed at players with levels 75 to 99 plus and a number of skills. The city will be launched in 2 batches, with a Grandmaster quest being released in the months leading up to Batch 1, as a separate update, of course. Completion of the quest will be required to access the city. Batch 1 will see the release of the following: the Tower of Voices, which is what you're looking at in this picture here. The Ireworth, which is the family of Slayer and Melee. The Cadarn, ranged and magic. The Trohjorn, I'm butchering all these, mining and smithing. And the Quaiwees, farming and woodcutting. And Batch 2 will see the Ithel, construction and crafting, Omlad, divination and summoning, Hiffen, agility and prayer, and Mailer, dungeoneering and herblore. The city is located on platforms above a large crater, with the player able to see the buildings and farms from far below them. In the center of the Elf City is the Tower of Voices. Now, this is the trade hub and location of the Lodestone. It also contains a fragment of Serene on the upper floors. The Tower of Voices will be access point for many players. Large concourses run from the Tower of Voices in the 4 cardinal directions. Each clan will have its own logo and color, which will decorate their clothing, buildings, stained glass windows, and tower. The colors are based on the color wheel used in previous Elf quests. So if you remember, we use a lot of the color wheel to do all the Morning's End and the Temple of Light quests, things like that. Access to the Elf City will be possible via the following new methods. There will be a lodestone. You can get there, of course, by foot, a south entrance, and an east entrance. You'll be able to use a spirit tree. The gnome glider will be in the north, a fairy ring to the east, and, of course, crystal teleport seeds can be tuned to any of the 8 segments. So let's go ahead and look at another picture here. This, of course, you can see the lodestone in the middle of the hub where you'll appear. This is kind of like going to be a mini GE for Fr00bs, pretty much. Anyway,
and just to be clear, this is not the finish. This is just concept.
Right. This is concept. Of course, it's not got in any of the layers and wonderful graphics that we've grown to love. Anyway, you'll see the Elf City lodestone. There will be 2 banks and a grand exchange booth. It's going to be a little bit smaller than Varrock. Contains 2 bank tellers, 1 GE teller. It will offer a teleport to the Varrock Grand Exchange Herblore Decanter. There will be a challenge quartermaster, a permanent bonfire, a chance of generating a fire spirit from the said bonfire. Offers a random chance of keeping a log during fire making from said bonfire. There's going to be a Chronicle cash-in NPC. Acts identically to the World Wake Shrine cash-in point. They're going to place the Solomon store there, a little bit smaller than Baroque's Wand-style loyalty store. And some of the new stuff is going to be a portal area, teleportation hub with 4 portals. The portals teleport to the following player-owned house portal. Players will be able to set their play-owned house to Elf City for 1 million GP. There'll be a teleport to Sinkholes and Dungeoneering. Clan Citadel portal. The Clan Valexion will have the option to take you to either clan portal. Player-owned ports portal. Crystal Tree Farming Patch. This is going to require level 94 farming. The player can place a Crystal Acorn, which will be a rare item only gained from the Elf City. In a new farming patch, if they have the farming level required, the acorns will be tradable. A grown Crystal Tree will gain Sparkling Crystal Blossoms. The player can harvest said Crystal Blossoms once per day, but the blossom is only visible occasionally throughout the day. Now, this is something common in a lot of games. Like Neopets has a Snow Ager, it only wakes up 2 times per day, and you have to be on that specific time to get the reward. There's a lot of controversy about the Crystal Tree farming patch we'll get into when we start talking about the podcast following this design document. There's going to be a Crystal Enchanter and Pawn Shop NPC. Standing in the area is Ifleen, a Crystal Enchanter who can re-enchant the player's crystal items for slightly less GP than current. This includes crystal items from Crystal Singing, so the teleports, the bows, the shields. There's going to be 5-time divination NPCs. 5 NPCs in divination gear will wander the Tower of Voices. When a player places a divination location, within this area, a divination NPC will begin to harvest from the location. A divination NPC will generate items from the divination location as if an actual player, but will not contribute to the gathering limits of the player. Elven Shattered Heart Statue. Now listen to this next part very carefully. For the 16 skilling focuses of the Elf City, there will be a chance that players receive a golden rock. The rate of receiving a golden rock is equal to the rate of conventional Shattered Heart rock. Now, if you don't remember what this is, if it's so long ago, in the Varrock Museum, there is a Shattered Heart statue of Dalmarok. You collect pieces of the statue by skilling. You put them together 32 times in total until finally it's done. So they're doing something similar to this in the Elf City, but the focuses will include combat on this one, and divination.
Nice.
Summoning, prayer, things like that, and dungeoneering that are not included with the one in Baroque. Once the statue has been completed 32 times, it will return to life, revealing the story of how she became a statue. The character will thank the player and become a permanent resident of the Max Guild. Yes, I said Max Guild. And no more golden rocks will be gained. The statue location will no longer be present. A complete Shattered Heart statue will be a requirement of the Trimmed Completionist Cape 32 weeks after Batch 2's launch. There is a poll going on right now on the high-level forums if Trimmed Completionist Capes players should be allowed to keep their trim for 32 weeks during the time that they try to fix the statue. I think they should lose their trim on the day of release. But anyway, let's open up another piece of concept art here. Maybe I think it's, yes, this one here. Now, looking at this, I don't know if this feels very elvish to me. For some reason, it reminds me of fairies.
It does remind me of fairies.
Yeah.
Or My Little Pony.
So these are supposed to be like the clan's little towers or whatever. Anyway, the Tower of Chimes. At the top of each larger tower is a crystal chime that can be rung by any player. It represents a single musical note. When a chime is rung, all players on all other towers can hear it. The chime cannot be heard from any other location in-game. Clan Nobles. In the base of each of the towers is a clan noble. They can be talked to for information on what the clan represents. A player may ask to become an ally of any of the 8 clans. If they do so and pay an amount of money, they can receive a cape. So let's look at these capes. And I have to admit, these capes are actually really pretty. I like them a lot better than our skill capes.
Yes.
I really like the Slayer one, but, I have this weird obsession with acorns. So the last one is like...
Yes. She collects acorns. She has acorns hoarded in her bank.
I do. People take all sorts of
yes, the Slayer one does look cool, though, because it's like tentacles coming from a fucking skull, and that's badass. The wolf one looks cool, and I'm drawn to the red bunny rabbit one because it
Yeah,
reminds me of the killer bunny from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
that's a good observation. I mean, they all. The thing is, now listen, if you like more than one cape, you don't have to worry about, only picking one. You can buy as many of these capes as you want to. No, I'm guessing they're probably going to cost a lot each, but you can have as many as you want. There's going to be some clan-wide content. Crystal Implings, Hunter level at 95 required. Crystal Implings will be found in segments of the city and in Puro Puro. The Implings drop crystal teleports, elder tree seeds, even shattered heart rocks, crystal acorns, and other crystal items. And there's going to be some lore drops. Players will find 16 crystals around the city, 2 in each Elf Clan area, bringing them back to the Memoriam Reader and the Tower of Voices to view 16 separate lore fragments. 1 crystal per clan will be in a visible location available to the player to the spot to pick up. These are finite and will disappear once they've been obtained. 1 crystal per clan will require specific action for the player to gain it. These will require simple actions to find, all without skill requirements. So this is pretty much just something for the lore horrors, if anything. The Voice of Seren, once an hour, on the hour. 2 segments in the Elf City will randomly receive the Voice of Seren. The highlighted city segment are chosen randomly, although a city segment cannot be the focus twice in a row. When a segment is under the influence of the Voice of Seren, all XP in the region is multiplied by 1.2%.
Heck yes!
1.2 times, so that's not quite double XP, but pretty close. There's also double the chance of getting a golden rock, and crystal implings appear more frequently. In addition, there are also specific perks like fighting Lorewirth. I'm butchering these names so bad. Elves generate a small amount of Slayer XP. Batch 1 is launching with 4 segments rather than the full 8, so 1 segment will receive the Voice of Seren once Batch 2 is released. 2 segments will receive the voice after that.
I mean, you need to just brush up on your Lord of the Rings, because really all Jagex has done is stolen the vernaculars of the Lord of the Rings Elvish language and made them somewhat different and put it in their game. I'm just saying.
There's going to be some agility shortcuts requiring level 77 agility. Each of the elf segments will include an agility shortcut that allows the player to travel from the middle ring to the neighboring segment. Completing a full tour of these agility shortcuts will generate an amount of XP. So it's going to be like a little bit of an agility course there. There's going to be a list of unlockable titles, 1 for each of the clans, plus Lorehound, the Statuesque, the Naragi, and the Famous. Let's go to our next picture from the design document. You see the tower here.
Oh, pretty.
It's pretty. And I'm guessing that is the Tower of Voices. And that concludes the Elf City design document. And now let's jump straight into the Elf City design document podcast. So everything I've just read to you may change. In the latest podcast, Elf City Design Part 1, Mod Mount Hayes chats with Mod Osborne, Mod Rowley, and Mod Raven about your feedback on the first of 5 Prividanus design documents. So here we go. If you remembered just 5 seconds ago, I was talking about Solomon's store going to be a part of this. Well, they're considering removing the idea after some controversy about, people, you know how people feel about the microtransactions. Well, they don't like it. Another big problem is the city does not seem to be made of crystals. People are mad about that because the gate of Prividanus, if you ever go to the elf area, it's transparent. It looks like crystal. So people are assuming the whole city will be made of the same type of substance. The reason that it's not being made of crystal and transparent is because of technical issues. They would have to change the name of the city from Elf City to Ba-da-dum-dum Lag City.
Lag City, Lag.
They're stating instead it is made of crystal, but a hardened crystal marble.
That's not crystal.
Another controversy is how do the elves know about divination? Mod Osborne states that divination ties with the Enema Mundi, and of course that is the essence of all of nature on Gielinor. Pretty much the elves knew about divination before anyone else because, Serene, the way that she died, she kind of turned herself into crystals and shattered whatever. They just train it a little differently than we do. Another controversy is the Chronicle cash-in. They may remove this or lower the XP. A lot of people are saying, what's the point of doing the World's Wakes quest if it's going to be here, and blah, 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 cry me a river. A lot of people don't understand what elves are doing with dungeoneering. This will be explained during the quest. They may decide to replace Solomon with Diango, and he's the one who, of course, holds all your holiday items. There's some controversy about Juan, of course, part of the loyalty store. One will stay. Lodestones, of course, there's always a controversy with lodestones. The lodestone will stay, but they are considering adding other teleport methods, maybe even an ancient teleport spell. The crystal blossom, as I talked about, you have to be on specific times to get the full benefit of the reward from the crystal blossom. They are considering changing that to be less aggressive, so maybe happening more often or whatever. They also want to state that the Ironworth are not evil. Some things that players want to see is portals to some of their favorite mini-games, but this will be an update coming this year outside of Elf City. One of the capes apparently looks like the Star of Sardaman. That will be tweaked. Of course, I could flip back to the capes picture so we can see what the crap they're talking about. I'm guessing it's the first one here. Players don't like it because it looks like the Star of Sardaman, so...
I also don't like it because it kind of looks like a version of the Celtic cross.
Yeah, so they're going to be changing that to maybe look more like a stag or something like that.
That would be cool.
Like I said earlier, you can own all of these capes if you wish to. This is not a faction system. There's a lot of confusion that you're going to join one clan and you're stuck with that clan. You're not joining the clan. Oh. You're pretty much making a pact with all the clans, and there will be a max player guild within this city. We don't know a lot of information about that.
Why?
But I guess we need a clubhouse or something. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like hanging out with max players, but, Anyway, can anybody guess what kind of update we also had, as we do every single week?
Let's see.
Matt?
A graphics update.
No, Treasure Hunter!
Well, you do have to understand something. Every week is a graphics update on Treasure Hunter because they try to increase the resolution of Alice's boobs. So...
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Protein smithing bars. This weekend, Treasure Hunter is the home of our second protein promotion. Planks are back along with the bars. Now, when I saw this originally, because this update came out before it actually, it was actually reset time, I was like, oh no. Are we going to be able to smith rune blades and flood the market? But luckily, no. You smith these, they disappear, you don't get anything back for them. They're actually really shitty because they take so long to smith them. Mm-hmm. Not really impressed with them. You get the XP you would get for making like a rune knife,
isn't the slogan like "smith your way to the top"?
Yeah, it's not amused with this, but anyway, if you want it, get it now. Yeah. Let's talk about something else people are ready to hear about. Behind the scenes video 105. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dungeoneering Spotlight. Alright, next week's update is Ancient Combat. I'm excited for those new abilities that we talked about last show, but this behind the scenes is for those of you obsessed with Dungeoneering. So let's go through the quick list of what was seen in this video and what it means for you. Number one, something everyone's talking about, is the Chaotic Spear. Yes, the level 80 spear. This will be made with a Zamorak spear, currently found in-game from God Wars, plus 10 chaotic spikes already in-game. The price of spears are rising up, so you may have missed your chance to steal one of these pretty cheap. I suggest you get your ass to Zami God Wars and get one for free. Mm-hmm. New pets. There's a Pet Blink, a Hope Devourer, and a Baby Frost Dragon. Now, the Pet Blink is really creepy. It's like a little midget man. Yeah, and plus 5 new titles. And anyway, there's going to be a new resource dungeon. This is what interests me. It is filled with Calgarian demons. Now, these are the demons, of course, found in Dungeoneering, blah, blah, blah. The resource dungeon requires 90 Dungeoneering and 90 Slayer. These is where you're going to get the new titles from killing these in succession over and over. There's going to be 6 new necklaces. I'm pretty excited about that, so hopefully a ranging one and mage one and maybe a skill one. That seems pretty cool, yeah.
Girls in usual, dude.
Well, I mean, they got stats. The ability to skip floors with tokens, so if you don't want to do your ice floors, if you don't want to do your abandons, you'll be able to skip those with tokens and get right to the good stuff. There's going to be a gold accumulator. This is going to work like the Bone Crusher, the Charming Imp, the Herbicide, and the Seedicide. But here's the thing about the gold accumulator. After some controversy, this will disintegrate after it collects 1 million GP. It is about pointless. I can get 1 million GP within like 2 Slayer tasks. I'm going to have to buy another one. The reason this happens is because, for the most part, players do not pick up their coin drops. It is not a common thing. I usually do, unless I'm power slaying.
I do because I'm a noob.
Right, but with this, that would mean a larger percentage of players would be picking up their coin drops. That means more money into the game with this terrible economy that'll never fix itself. It would be kind of harmful. So it is, I mean, I do understand why it disintegrates, but, you know, there's better options. Maybe make it cost like 1 million Dungeoneering tokens. Like, who the fuck would buy that just to pick up coins besides me? There's going to be a gem bag upgrade for storage space for dragon stones and 60 of each gem. Right now it only holds 100 gems in total. There's going to be the ability to reset your ring, like if you've got some of the shitty type of ring or what. Like, I have gatherers and I don't skill in Dungeoneering anymore. I would love to reset that and get some of my tokens back. There's going to be the ability to have bonfires in Dungeoneering for those of you who are just trying to get some cheap fire making experience. We'll finally be able to use Surge and Escape ability. This will be pretty good, I guess, for certain situations. And most importantly,
drum roll,
the Hex Hunter bow will finally get its well-deserved update, making it the best bow in the game once again. Of course, it's only found in Dungeoneering. But it is a level 98 bow, and right now it is shittier than the Sagittarian short bow. So
that's pretty fucking shitty.
That is pretty shitty. It's level 98. Anyway, I hope everyone is enjoying their minigame weekend. I finally got finished with all my Dominion Tower. I'll probably be doing some Livid Farm tomorrow. And, of course, next week is the Dungeoneering tokens in Daemonheim and with sinkholes, and there's going to be a 50% extra XP bonus when doing sinkholes.
That's
so
right.
Now, whew, it's the top of the hour.
I have a really quick question first. Does the Blink pet look like Chucky?
If Chucky had blue hair, yes.
Wow.
And mad scientist glasses.
I'm afraid.
And farts.
Wait, farts? Oh, that's right. That's how he propels himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, top of the hour. Let's get to the commercial break. Matthew.
All right.
Take it away.
All right. I have another celebrity submission
God.
here. It's not him. It's not Christopher Walken again.
Oh.
I promise.
No, that's good.
Anyway, here we go. Hello everyone, it's your favorite visceral filmmaker, Quentin Tarantino. I'm here today to tell you about a profile film I'm doing about the Barbarians clan, the most amazing clan. It's this clan full of drama and hatred and revenge, and anyway, you'll see the movie when it comes out. I don't want to give anything away. The only thing you'll know is that somehow I'll work a part for myself in there. Not too many lines, of course. Don't want to make my head too big. Anyway, for now, what you need to do is you need to join the Barbarians clan so you can get tons of extra experience. And guess what? Not only are you going to get extra experience, but you're going to find a great clan full of family and values and fun. Basically everything my movies are not. So yeah, join today, and we also have Raid Call, and you can have fun in there and be uncomfortable because we talk about a lot of weird shit.
Thank you, Mr. Tarantino. Big fan of your movies. All of them except Jackie Brown.
Ha! Fucking Jackie Brown.
Alright, let's get into the patch notes. Then I promise to Bob we will do the Reddits this week.
We got so much shit for not doing the Reddits.
I know.
They're like, God damn it, Saya, stop being drunk and forgetting the Reddits.
I am not drunk tonight. Thank you. Thank you. I'm 1 week sober. 1 week sober.
Wow. That's gonna last, what, maybe like 20 more minutes?
Yeah.
Alright. So, graphical. Color grading has been added to the Lumbridge Catacombs. Because that's exactly what we wanted.
Yes!
Spiders, bats, scorpions, and minotaurs have been graphically updated across the game. Thank you, Jagex, for not just updating the fucking cows.
Fuck the cows.
And I just want the person who has the high score for killing cows to know, since the graphical update, watch out. I'm gunning for your #1 spot, bro. Because they are a scourge upon this fucking game. I want to kill them all! A new combat stunt animation has been added. The playing smithing animation has been updated. Animated. The sails used in sailing cutscenes, so they flap now like real sails.
That is so real. It looks so real.
Skills, D&Ds, and minigames. Portable skilling locations can no longer be taken into Barbarian Assault, you silly cheaters. Quest challenges and achievements. Players attacking the mage before the end of the Temple of Ikov quest can no longer have the chat box interrupted by combat. Croatian NPCs. It appears, let me try to pronounce this correctly, Crassian.
Yeah, that's probably NPCs. The way it is.
Now have their life point bar shown correctly when the HTML5 client is used. An unneeded word has been removed from the quest overview for Imp Catcher.
Sounds like an unneeded patch note. Yes.
Damn right.
I agree.
It's that goddamn JMod who can't use grammar correctly. The one who wrote the patch notes last week.
Yeah.
I forget who you were. Mod Michelle did them this week, I know. But I'm going to pay attention next time. You grammar misusing motherfucker. Other. The wardrobe tab no longer endlessly flashes. Thank you, God.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, the word Tetsu is no longer filtered when the word filter is enabled. Why was Tetsu filtered?
Because I guess it looks like testicle. Or titsu.
Or tits. Yes, or tits. So tits and testicles, yeah. Alright, gas masks, fishbowl helmets, and diving apparatus can now be added to a dungeon keepsake box. Silverhawk boots now have the option for level 1 defense. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm actually not sure what that means.
That means they're going to have stats, so people can wear them in combat.
I don't like that.
I don't either. Shouldn't have stats.
No. Alright, HTML5 engine fixes. Several missing background images in the HTML5 client have been restored.
Well, that's handy.
Thank you.
Because we all play on HTML5.
Absolutely. And so, did you totes go to the streaming of various mods like Regicidal playing the beta?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I couldn't be bothered.
Cause fuck that. Yeah.
This is what I don't understand about streaming. Now, granted, I've done some streaming in my career here, but what is it about watching someone else play RuneScape that is so appealing? I don't know. Like when we go to watch streams, we go there for the amusement of troll. We troll them.
I remember. Do you remember that one kid? He wore the glasses, and we were pretty sure he went to AFK mode to go jack off.
Yes. Oh my god.
And Statya had a nightmare about him.
I did. He was so creepy. Yeah.
Oh god.
Carry on.
Let's forget about him forever. So anyway, Another thing another peeve you have is like whenever people do like they do videos and they just play music and don't do any commentary.
That's another thing. Like, that was
Mhm.
something that was very common when RuneScape video making first came out and people were, indulging in it. They would just play the game, they'd throw in some music, and then maybe they do a montage and have music. That irks me that people still do that today. I cannot stand it. Who agrees? Thank you.
But yeah, so it's. I've only done a couple of streams on my own in my time. One was a solo trip to Bandos. No. First it was to Zamorak God Wars Dungeon. I lasted like 1 kill and had to run away. And I remember Satya said she was watching it while I was doing it. She was like, "Eat! Eat!"
I was screaming at the screen.
And then the other solo one was basically I did a live stream, and basically I couldn't think of anything else, so I copied Satya and did a tour of the Citadel, and she was like, "Here, let me help you." So we ended that one. I ended that one, started a new one with her, and that's how the Noob and Fr00b show was born.
But that was the first time I live streamed because Google Broadcast had just came out, so I was testing it. I was like, well, what should I do to test this? I'll just, do a comedic tour of the Citadel. And the next night, Matt did the same.
I couldn't think of anything. I'm sorry. Anyway, but if it weren't for my horrible solo live streaming skills, you wouldn't be listening to the show right now.
That is true. I felt so bad. I was like, end it, and I'll join you for the next one. So.
Yeah.
So that started episode 1.
Yes, it did.
Right. Any more patch notes?
No. I'm sorry. That was the end. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, thank you for the patch notes.
Oopsie.
I have a question here from Twitter. I got a DM, which means direct message, but I always think of it as deathmatch for some reason. Anyway, he says that he's also doing Dominion Tower, and he's finally got to Nomad, but he's not sure if he just doesn't remember or what's happening. But at one point, Nomad is pretty much charging up in the middle, and he's there for a prolonged period of time, and then all of a sudden he shoots out like this white stuff. Which instantly kills our viewer. What am I doing wrong? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm hiding behind the pillar, and it's still
First of all, you don't hide behind the pillar. You have to give in and let it cover your face, Nick. Oh.
I guess you don't remember during the quest, but this is his pretty much his major attack, and what this does, it pretty much whatever your max life points is, like if your max life points with all your gear on is 8,000, he's going to hit 7,999 on you. So first off, you need to make sure that you are full HP when this thing hits. If not, it's going to insta-kill you. You can, of course, use Anticipation. You can use Barricade and other abilities we have now that we didn't have pre-EOC. So if you don't want to eat the full health, you can, of course, use ability. Immortality is another good one. That's what's happening. But you have to time it just right. Now, when he starts to reach forward to cast the actual spell that's going to own you, that's when you need to hit Barricade. That's when you need to hit Resonance. Now, remember, Resonance is not going to heal you, but that is pretty much going to make the attack obsolete. So that's what's happening. I hope that helped. Thank you.
Yes.
So let's do the Reddits, because we didn't do them last week because we were too drunk.
We got yelled at.
We did get yelled.
Alright. Anyway, I don't know if you know this, but evidently on free-to-play world, Satya, there are a bunch of bots killing hill giants in the resource dungeon.
Oh, no.
There are a bunch of bots in free-to-play worlds killing hill giants in the resource dungeon, killing hill giants, picking up big bones, and picking up limp roots. I have seen some of these bots on a night at night, then when I wake up, they are still on up a few combat levels. Is Jagex ever going to ban them? And this was submitted like only 4 hours ago.
Okay, so we know the bot issue is an ongoing problem. It stops for a while. The bot makers get smarter than Jagex, and the process repeats itself. The problem is Jagex takes their sweet time with banning these bots because they want to make 100% sure that these bots are not players, that these accounts don't belong to players. Because a lot of times, sure, most of the bots are new accounts, but sometimes they're stolen accounts,
Yeah.
sometimes they're players just kind of experimenting with botting, and in a nutshell, Jagex doesn't want to lose a customer to anything. So when will these bots get banned? It could be several months of research before anything happens to them, unfortunately. And that's the process that it's been for the past 2 years. And that's, it's going to become eventually a huge problem once again as these bot makers are getting more smart, that they're figuring out how Jagex is catching these bots and things like that. So unfortunately, I don't have an easy answer for you. I'm sorry.
I don't know. If it's just me, but if I come across a player named RTY asterisk parenthesis PO ampersand, I'm pretty sure he's a fucking bot.
I know we all feel that way. I mean, we all know it's obvious, and we're 100% sure these are bots. But we can get down to the conspiracy of it. Is Jagex letting these bots, stay because it helps their customer count, their players online count, especially the membership bots that are paying for memberships? Of course, that's bringing money into the game. There's a lot of conspiracy around this, but Jagex's statement is they're not going to ban a single account until they're 100% sure it is not a real person. That's the crap they keep regurgitating when we know there's probably some other reason.
Money!
Oh.
Does the combat experience setting affect your stats like in 2007 RS? If I set my combat experience to earn attack, will I receive an attack bonus like I would in 2007 RuneScape? Or does it only affect what type of experience I get and not my stats?
Okay, in the current game, during the evolution of combat, it does not matter if you set it to defense, attack, or strength. You're not going to get a bonus from your attack style. Your bonuses come from your level and your gear only. So, pre-EOC, if you trained attack, that meant you had a more likelihood to hit. If you trained on strength, that meant your max hit was more possible. You were going to hit higher. If you had it on defense, that meant you were less likely to get hit, and yada, yada, yada. Now that is completely obsolete. It does not matter whatsoever.
Okay. Some questions about reports. A friend was recently muted, and we were trying to figure out who reported them since it was an unjust mute. It shows clan chat at the beginning of a very long chat log of the report. Does this mean someone in their clan reported her, or could it have been multiple people that reported her? I'm amused by the comment on this. It says, "Burn the witch."
Okay, so that's a common misconception that if you get a mute and it shows information from the clan chat or private chat or whatever, that it was someone in private or the clan that reported you. No. What happens is, if what was said, if the evidence itself was said in the clan chat, it's very likely it was somebody from the clan, but here's the twist. Somebody in public could have reported you just to be funny at that moment in time that you had said something. Because the way a mute report works, or a bad language report works, it takes like a screenshot of your chat. So everything in private, everything in public, everything in clan is in that screenshot. And it narrows it down to the bad word that was said. And then, what's right before that, what's right after it. So there is the possibility that someone reported you in public, someone from your friends list reported you. There's really no way of knowing who reported you. But the likelihood that it was clan is pretty much up there. But you'll never know, unfortunately.
All right. Could I still turn a profit is the name of this question.
Okay.
I'm going for an Ascension bow, and I bought 50 of each key to start. I got Signet 4 after 17 kills, but I'm 50 kills dry on Secundus and 51 dry on Quintus. I'm scared to try the last 3. Would I still be able to turn a profit, or should I expect a loss?
You know, that's a hard question because it all comes down to luck. And of course, luck on this game is a giant mathematical equation that nobody can figure out.
Mm-hmm.
You could go 1,000 kills dry. That is a possibility, and that of course would put you in the hole, and that would make the Ascension crossbows less than the amount of the keys that you're having to buy. So it's all about, are you willing to take that risk? You know, I can't give you a definitive answer. I can't say, you know, you're going to get it next kill. Nobody knows. That's just, you know, the part of it. If it was, you go in there and after 10 kills every time you get an Ascension crossbow, the price of the crossbows would drop and that would completely fuck things up. But, you know, if you're enjoying camping these things, then, you know, that's what you need to look at. If you're trying to get these bows for yourself, of course you get that self-satisfaction that you went out and you got them yourself. But other than that, I don't know the luck equation for this game, so I'm sorry.
And finally, we have a ninja request. There's a graphical request of sort. Actually, not finally. We still have 10 minutes. What am I saying finally for? Can we have a climate change? And climate change is more so than we do. We already have snow and smoke, but it would be nice to see rain, like rays of sunshine, stuff like that. You toggle in graphics. Also, he says, hey ninjas, you should use your ninja skills to talk to some people to get weather. I'm adding this is what he's saying right now, because some fucking idiot thinks he is too good and can decide what a fucking ninja post is. I'm guessing he got shit from somebody about his post. And a lot of people are giving him shit in the comments like, oh, it would fuck with FPS, blah, blah, blah.
You know, I agree with them. I would like to see weather in game. Of course, I was a big proponent of the day and night changes that they'll never do. They could throw in rain in somewhere like the swamp, especially Mauritania. That's pretty foggy and, you know, drizzly and rainy looking anyways, throwing some rain there. But the problem is, something like that is going to take a lot of development time.
Yeah.
And, you know, those resources could be better put to something that would make a wider effect on the game than just weather. I think weather would be just something cute and something nifty to have, but is it really that important to have weather? I don't think so. Not right now. Maybe when they run out of ideas, weather is a good idea. But there, of course, they've stated in the past there is a lot of technical issues with weather. Of course, it would affect the FPS. Anytime there's animations, that has to be loaded. Each frame of the animation has to be loaded, and of course that can get pretty heavy on some people's internets. So, I mean, I could list out all the reasons of why it's not going to happen, but, you know, rain in Mauritania, I could see that, because we got snow in the Snowy Hunter area, etc., etc., but fortunately, not going to happen.
Yes. Finally, new chaotic spear. I say finally because this will take a while. New chaotic spear. What could this mean for Corp Beast? So I was talking with a friend in game about what the new chaotic dungeon spear would be used for, or useful for, and we talked about how it's designed for Corp Beast, as suggested in the behind the scenes. Having an item that is going to be really useful at this boss is great, but will it make you want to kill it again / more? So I was thinking, what would be a new drop incentive that would be viable for the current game, something that would bring back a healthy amount of players to Corp, larger numbers than now, is what he's trying to say. A new sigil drop or shield check would be nice. He puts into numbers. 1, would a new sigil make you want to kill Corp to obtain it? 2, if it was added, would it be the shield bonus, or what special factor would set the item apart? 3, if you're thinking this is stupid, fair enough. What would be an item / incentive?
Okay, let's just
blah, blah,
skip
blah, blah, blah.
through all this crap. Okay, yes, the new Chaotic Spear is going to make Corping a little bit easier. Do I think that there needs to be a new incentive for Corp? To me, Corp is a mid-level boss. We have high-level bosses like Nyx, maybe even the Queen Black Dragon, Virago, etc., etc. Does Corp need to have an incentive to go kill? I don't necessarily think so. I feel like with the spear, soloing Corp is going to be a little bit easier. The sigils are still worth, you know, a significant amount compared to the price of supplies that you need to go to the corp. I don't think there needs to be a new incentive. Having a spear like that itself, a level 80 spear, is enough incentive to go. Because I was thinking about when I saw the update for the Chaotic Spear, oh, I'm going to start soloing corp again. You know, it's an amusing fight. It's still a little bit challenging. Of course, it's not as challenging as some of the harder bosses. I just personally don't feel a new drop table for corp is going to do the trick. I think
But
the spear itself is enough.
what if you're little like me?
If you're little like you don't need to be going to corp. You have bandos you can go to.
Alright.
You have, God Wars to go to. You have the Calfight Queen. You have the Chaos Elemental. You have various other bosses at the lower to mid-level range. Corp is right in the mid-range. I don't see a drop table being necessary. Like I said, saw the spear, the first thing I thought about was soloing corp.
You have a one-track mind, don't you?
I do.
You're so pro.
And of course, this means the price of these spirit shields, these seagulls, are going to go down because I'm sure there's a lot of people who have the same mindset as me. They're going to go solo corp for money.
Which is going to make everything that corp drops less.
And it should be less because corp is not as challenging now as he was pre-EOC. He's a mid-level boss. The shields are level 60, 70, something like that. They're mid-level shields. They shouldn't be worth a shitload of money.
Yeah.
If you want to make a shitload of money, then you go the Virago. You train your stats, you go the Virago. You train your stats, you go the next. You train your stats, you go here, blah, 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 blah. I don't think corp needs to be adjusted. I think we need more bosses, not reinventing old ones. Thank you.
Anyway, that's it for the Reddits.
We got 5 minutes. I'm going to show you a picture.
Oh dear.
Let me find it. This right here. This is Mod Mark Gerhard and Raiden from Mortal Kombat 2. Just look at this for a moment.
Hello.
Do you not see the uncanny likeness?
Absolutely. I think Mod Mark Gerhard is lying about his age. He's had plastic surgery, and he has taken a new name, Mark Gerhard.
Instead of Raiden, God of Thunder.
Instead of Raiden, God of Thunder, yes. And I have a criticism of that movie.
Yes.
Bro, where's your fucking hat? You aren't Raiden without your goddamn hat.
Well, what happened in the second movie is he went to the Elder Gods to try to save the humans, and they gave him the questions. If you love the humans so much, would you give up godhood to protect them? Sounds like something out of a RuneScape storyline.
It does.
Anyway, so he gave up his godhood, and when he gave up his godhood, he lost his long, luscious white locks and turned into a middle-aged man.
He really did. I still think he should be able to wear the hat, though.
It was funny. I was watching this movie, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. I was a teenager when they came out. Oh, that ages me. But he pops out as regular Raiden, and the person I was watching it with, we both said at the same time, "It's Mod Mark Gerhard," and that just set the tone for the entire movie. But
yes.
And I just also want to say, Mod Mark Gerhard tweets too damn much.
He really does. No, I see his tweets because I don't follow him on Twitter, but I'm friends with him on Facebook. So my Facebook wall is flooded with his fucking tweets because he has his Twitter linked to his Facebook.
He tweets.
So I see him tweeting when he's drinking in bars. I see him tweeting pictures of his tanks because he probably saves them to his spank bank. It's disturbing.
It is disturbing. And, we give him a lot of shit, but he seems like in real life, if you were to hang out with him outside of Jagex, he would probably be a really likable guy. And sometimes I do feel bad for giving him shit, but he's still putting microtransactions in the game that we love, and slowly, as they say, hammering the last nail in the coffin.
Continuing to kick a dead horse.
He's been hammering a lot of last nails for the past year, every update. That's the last nail. But, what can you do?
Oh dear.
As they say, the best weapon against an update.
Is another update. Actually, not to toot my own horn, I said that.
You did say that, but I still made the banner.
That's true.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you may or may not have stolen the art in the background from a certain franchise called Total War, but we that.
I made you and I made me on Blender.
That's true.
Thank you.
And you animated the N00b and Fr00b show words, and you added the sponsors to the left, and you put the NC-17 up top. And speaking about the sponsors, I think it's about time to start thanking them because it's about time to go.
Yes, it is the end of the show, and thank you for all who tuned in live. All of you. All of you. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, tune in again next Saturday night. Same place, same time. A special thank you to our sponsors, AEM Radio for simulcasting, Gamer Girl Radio over at Blogcast for simulcasting, Jagex for not suing us, the Barbarians Clan, and our partner who sends the paychecks, Awesomeness TV. I have been that bear, Satya.
And I have been Matchu, aka Matt.
And we love you, and good night, and bye.
Goodbye.